Who are your favorite historical female figures?
Okay. So I was thinking, the easy answer is, of course, Eleanor Roosevelt, because she's the one that pops to mind. But I really want to talk about somebody who was much more modern day woman, who I think accomplished some amazing things. And that would be Lady Bird Johnson. She was in the role of, the first lady. And in our culture, traditionally, that was a lady that had teas and invited people in and made everything look pretty at the White House. And she was a very smart woman, had a lot of business background, and she really wanted to make a difference in a different way. And so she's the one that started pushing for beautification of the United States of America. And here she came out of this role as first lady, which the culture really pushed her into, wanted her to stay, which her their role. And she pushed in a very feminine but strong way that she was going to go around the country and convince them that beautifying the community, the country, was important. And she did an amazing job. She got the Highways Act, National Highways Bill passed. She went out on her own in kind of a campaign along with the president, but on her own, she went out and then started contacting people and getting to know people and pushing her ideas. And she then went on to get the Congressional Medal of Honor and the two highest awards that our country gives to a woman, to all people, but they gave it to her. So I think that's exciting. But what I think is just so amazing is when I was growing up, for years, that was the whole time I was growing up, I lived in Montana, and as we would travel across the state, everybody would be packed in the station wagon. We'd all be eating our lunches, because in those days you didn't stop at a restaurant and feed a family. You just gave them a bologna and cheese sandwich, and we kept rolling. But then when you got all done, the wax paper it was wrapped in was just tossed out the window. And it didn't cross our minds, or my parents' mind, or anybody else I knew, that there was no such word as littering. Right. You just wanted the car clean. And so you just think she was noticing that, and that things just weren't as beautiful as they could be. And of course, being in Texas and in Austin, I mean, there's beautiful things at places in Austin and in Texas, but overall, it's not a gorgeous landscape. So I think when you live in the Pacific Northwest, many times we have the beauty, we don't think about it. But when you live in a land of sagebrush and, not a lot of beautiful flowers because of the heat, she really thought of how can we make this beautiful. So I went down. So we've had the change in litter that changed our culture.
Yeah, absolutely.
We went from a culture that had thought nothing of litter or garbage, and to one that took care of our garbage and took care of our litter. We're responsible about what we left behind. When you go out of the camp, the camp trail, you clean up what you, take with you what you took in. Mm-hmm. She really changed the culture in that. And I think that's amazing, because the law was passed, yes, but the culture of the people, rarely do you see somebody toss something out the window. We do see it, but not. And in these more recent days, we've seen more litter, which I think now really disgusts us. We don't think it's okay. And when I was growing up, it was okay. So she changed the culture. And I think that was amazing. But also the beautification, that it takes time. When you go to Austin, and my kids moved there a few years ago, so I was able to spend a lot of time down there. The Lady Bird Johnson Park, the beauty of the flowers and the trees and the pathways and the places for families to spend their time. And then all along their boulevards, and on the pressed into the concrete of all their overpasses and bridges are just art. So you just have that beauty of culture coming into your life in so many different ways. And when you see the parkways and the trailways and all the things that you can use there, that she began all that. She was a creator of all of that. And I just think it's just absolutely wonderful to see what a woman who came out of the role that the nation and the culture thought she should be in, and very strongly but very quietly worked her way along and made such an institutional change to our culture. That's who I would talk about.
That's amazing. That's a great answer.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, that's perfect. Thank you so much.
Thanks for your
Linda.
patience. Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.